What if I told you that being alive right now, even with your student loans, 9-to-5 job, and weird neighbor who grills shirtless in winter, is actually a blessing? Seriously. Throughout history, there were times when just being born was basically the worst luck imaginable. Today, we're diving into history's most terrifying time periods to be alive. And by the end, you'll be hugging your Wi-Fi router like it's family. Ready? Let's go. You think you have it bad because your DoorDash was late? Try living in 536 AD, when the sky literally went dark for 18 months. Yup, not metaphorically. The sun said, "Peace out, back later." But before we get there, let's start with a time that was basically the original series finale of civilization. You've heard of the Roman Empire, right? Big buildings, togas, Julius Caesar, salad? Well, around 476 AD, the Roman Empire went kaput. No more government, no more armies, and definitely no more roads that lead to Rome. What did that mean for the average person? Imagine your country disbands, your bank closes, barbarian tribes start looting your neighborhood, and you have no Netflix to distract you from the chaos. And just when things couldn't get worse, boom, enter the Justinianic plague. This wasn't your typical sniffles. This plague wiped out tens of millions across the Mediterranean, while wars, economic collapse, and religious chaos were already going on. That's like your house catching fire while you're already drowning in quicksand and your ex just texted, "We need to talk." A Roman Empire collapsing in chaos. Burning buildings, soldiers retreating, civilians screaming, Gothic warriors storming gates, broken statues falling. Style, epic historical drama, dramatic perspective. Keywords, fall of Rome, Gothic invasion, ancient ruins, collapsing empire, flaming city, cinematic chaos, Roman soldiers. The 1920s were roaring. And then, boom, 1929 crashed harder than your uncle's crypto portfolio. Banks failed. Unemployment hit 25%. Families were living in cars. Bread lines stretched for miles. And the American dream became, "Please don't repossess my shoes." Just when people started to recover, Scene 3, World War II. 70 to 85 million people dead. Cities leveled. And oh, by the way, we dropped nuclear bombs. If you were born in 1898, you might have lived through World War I, the Spanish flu, the Great Depression, World War II. By the end, you'd be 47 years old and probably just staring at walls, whispering, "Again?" Let's rewind back to 536 AD, the year historians call the worst year to be alive. Why? Because a volcano in Iceland went kaboom and blanketed Europe and China in darkness for 18 months. No sunlight, crops died, people starved, temperatures dropped. It even snowed in China, in summer. Everyone thought the world was ending. And to be fair, it kind of was. Let's rewind back to 536 AD, the year historians call the worst year to be alive. Why? Because a volcano in Iceland went kaboom and blanketed Europe and China in darkness for 18 months. No sunlight, crops died, people starved, temperatures dropped. It even snowed in China. In summer, everyone thought the world was ending. And to be fair, it kind of was. Now, imagine being Native American in 1492. Europeans arrived with smallpox, guns, and bad intentions. 95% of indigenous people were wiped out, their homes stolen, their cultures crushed. And this wasn't just a disease problem. It was displacement, destruction, and generational trauma that still felt today. If you were Native during this time, it wasn't just the worst time to be born. It was the end of your world. But wait, let's get prehistoric. Welcome to the Carboniferous period. No humans, no dinosaurs, just massive insects. Giant dragonflies with 2.5-foot wingspans. Centipedes the size of dogs. Spiders the size of your face. Also, the air had 35% oxygen, which meant forests literally exploded. Imagine waking up and your backyard is just fire and spiders. Nope, count me out. Okay, now that we've time-traveled through hell, which era do you think was the worst? Was it the wars, the plagues, the planet of the bugs? Let me know in the comments. I'll be reading every one while thanking the universe I was born with running water and memes. And hey, if you like this insane tour through the worst timelines ever, hit that like button like it's 536 AD and the sky just disappeared. Subscribe for part 2, because believe it or not, there are more nightmare eras we didn't even cover.